Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name's Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott, and our fabulous, inspirational and motivational guest today is
Jase Porter.
Welcome.
Thank you, Jase. And Jase has taken the time off work to be with us today. So massive thank you, Jase.
Oh.
Yeah, he does loads. And he's done a lovely swap.
I'll see some time off.
Well, and it's sunny as well, isn't it? So you picked a good day to have off.
Yeah.
So shout out to the kids, any little people who've done amazing things this week. Sam, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay. I'm going to give a massive shout out to Olivia. So the First Person Project, Matty Kane, came on our show a while ago, and he set up a mental health drop-in centre, and he's just gone from strength to strength. He was a mental health nurse himself, went through a few struggles, but absolutely amazing. He's a great, and he's now got all the kids involved. And this little Olivia has made all nurses little like gift boxes, and then she's gone and did like a little care package, and she's gone and delivered them. I think she's 7, and she's gone and delivered them all. How cute is that? So massive shout out to Olivia. Yeah, well done. What about you, San?
Okay, so I'd like to give a shout out to the young people featured. We put it on our show earlier on our page earlier this week, who've helped raise funds over the water for the West Kirby lifeboat.
Yeah,
boats are essential. They're really important, and we always hear about people in dire straits every single year, without fail. So people don't underestimate the current, don't they? And the tide comes in very quickly that side as well, over by the River Dee. So shout out to them. All kids doing good stuff.
Brilliant. What about you, Jase?
I think he's a bit behind us. There. Can you hear us?
I think have you lost us, Jase?
Yeah. So my no, I'm back.
Okay.
My little kids thing today, all the students in Clifford Holroyd, where I'm a tutor, we all went back today. It was the first day, and everyone's just being dead happy to see the kids back, and they're all in good spirits. They're all ready for a new year, and it's just good to see the buzz. At the end of last year, it was all after the exams, and it was my first year doing exams. So to see them all refreshed, happy, it was just really nice to go into work, and just really motivation, just seeing all the kids so happy. It's just, and they all done well, and surprisingly, all well behaved. There's no trouble either.
Oh, well done. That's a bonus. That's a win. So Jason's just started in his new job, and he can tell us a little bit more about that as we go along. Yeah. Okay. Success this week for you personally, something that's happened that's been amazing this week for you. Are you going first? Am I going first?
You go first today, Hal.
Okay, so I've got 2.
Go on.
One, it was my mum's birthday on Friday, so I bought a ticket for 42nd Street, and she's not here. She's on a holiday with her mates. So Sandra and me and my dad and Phil went, and it was just amazing. Probably one of the best shows that I've ever seen, I think. So massive shout out to all of them. And my other success was my Tuesday Zumba that I've been teaching for about 10 years. And then they have a little break for the summer holidays, and then they come back. And it's an older adults class, and it's just lovely. And we had some new faces and some older faces, and it was just lovely to have a little catch up with everyone. So thank you to them. I was like, it's roasting. We haven't been here for 6 weeks. We're going to take it dead easy. We'll just potter along. And then we just went for it. So I was absolutely sweating because I haven't done anything myself for like 6 weeks.
Oh, brilliant.
So it was lovely. So massive shout out to all of them as well. What about you, Sam? What's your success?
I've had a couple of successes. Funny enough, your mum was away, so I got invited to go and see 42nd Street last night, and I really enjoyed it. It was such a good show, and the lead was just the best. I love tap dancing anyway. It was so good. And also, I've finally finished writing all the new website content.
Oh, brilliant.
My business. So Ronan drafted it all. I went through everything today, and I've got like literally 2 paragraphs to go, and I'm getting that off, and I can't wait for that to go live. So there'll be further adventures of that next week.
Brilliant. Well done, mate. Well done for that. And what about you, Jase? What's your success this week?
My success, I was obviously I do the British Fitness Awards, and usually I have the team behind me running around ragged the week of the awards. But for the first time ever, it's 2 weeks till the awards and everything's done. I've got the table plans done. Everyone's got the tickets. The majority have paid in full. All the video for the night's done. All the planning for the night's done. The script's done. So I feel like it's going to be a breeze. Usually I'm like Godzilla there at the last week of the awards because I'm just stressed to death. Whereas it's dead easy. But it's the support I've got behind me. I've got the best team behind me. So it's a big shout out to them as well. I haven't done everything. I've got the best team to kick me at the backside to get it done.
Brilliant. Well done. And we'll find out all about the Fitness Awards and how it came about and the little slight changes that it's had in a bit. So we're going to play this or that. Okay. Am I going first?
100%. You can go first on everything today. Okay. Go on.
So thank you to Corporate Connections for sponsoring our show. Okay, so they support businesses all being together to make those connections on a higher level and help and support each other through business. So I'm going to ask you first, Jase, if you were going to a meeting, would you rather go in the car or on the train?
Definitely in the car. It's got to be.
In the car.
I don't like trains.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, San?
Right, well, it very much depends where it is. So, for example, if it's a quick hop and a skip, the car's easy, you jump in and you're there. But if you're going to London, for example, I would much, much rather go on the train and not think about anything.
What about Manchester? If it was in Manchester?
Well, I hate that end of the M60 when you're going into Manchester through Salford. So I would get the train, but sometimes it really does depend where you're going. Do you know what I mean? When you get there, probably I would drive to Manchester, but it is a pain parking and things like that. It's really expensive to park in Manchester. You think it's enough town, but Manchester's unbelievable, the parking.
Yeah, no, I'd rather drive. Yeah, unless it was London and then I get the train. Yeah, I'm the same as you. Go on, Sam. What's your one?
Okay, so Jase, bearing in mind your fitness background, etc., would you rather go to a business networking event where you sit around the table and talk, or you do something active like go for a walk and network with other people or play golf, something like that?
Definitely walk. When I go to networking, I've got to sit down. I get restless legs and everything. I want to get up. So walking and networking is perfect for me.
Oh, fair enough. That makes sense. What about you, Hal?
So I quite like going for a walk. So during lockdown, I did a load of every meeting that I had was a walking meeting, and I absolutely loved it. And then I've stopped. It was only last week I thought I need to start that again. Because I loved it. It was just so much better to go for a walk than it is to be sat around. Yeah.
So I quite like going for a walk when the weather's nice like this, you see, whereas if it was absolutely teeming down, I'd rather be sat inside, definitely. Have a conversation with someone with water dripping off my face.
And your hair like that.
I beggars belief.
Right. Jase, aqua or hit step?
I don't know what you've just
said. That's a tough one.
I know.
Got me there. I've got to say aqua. Aqua at the minute, it's my favourite. I just love the energy and everything and the members and the numbers. I'm getting maximum numbers, so got to stick with it.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the population who don't know what either of you are talking about.
So aqua is aqua aerobic, so in the water. So you do your aerobics in the water, and hit step is like Tabata that we used to do, but you do it on a bit like step aerobics, but it's only a shorter and it's like really high intensity. So a really high intensity step aerobics class, but like with a little bit more. It's not like step aerobics. It's much more hit, much more physical,
Okay.
or an aqua aerobics class. And this is your worst, San, because your hair will get wet. But
So yeah, so I'm not doing aqua aerobics because somebody might splash me and I'd be very cross. So I'm doing the other one that's dry. But I used to years ago I do aqua aerobics, but no, there's no need for that. You pool with other people. No.
Yeah, aqua aerobics. So I remember the first time somebody said aqua aerobics, and I was like, oh, what a waste of time that is. All my days, the first time I did it, because you just think, oh, you don't sweat. It's just like a little waltz in the pool. All my days, I couldn't move. I was in absolute agony because you just don't realize, because you've got the resistance of the water as you wait, and then you can use weights as well, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go on, San.
I get people that go and they go to like work out the water, and then they're in the water and they come to me after and they go, I burned 700 calories. I'm like, yeah, that's what you're meant to do. It's you can't do it in the
Sandra's
water.
changing her mind now. Look, oh
I
hello.
get this go right off my water.
700 calories. So that means you could have a pizza of 700 calories after you've done that. That's really
a slice of pizza.
Slice of pizza, yeah, depended on the pizza. Oh no, fair enough. Okay, Jase, would you rather go to the cinema or the theatre? That's a common question we ask on here.
You know what? I rarely do like going to theatre. I don't get to go as often as I'd like to, but I really like going. So I'm going to say theatre. It's a little bit more different and something special in it.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, I much prefer the theatre. I love going to the cinema, but the theatre's just brilliant. What about you, Helen?
Theatre, hands down. I love it. I love like even just walking into the theatre before the show started. I love all of it. And I'm going again on Thursday, so that's cool.
The whole feel of going into a theatre, isn't it? It's the build up and the turning up and going in. It's just going to pictures. You just go in, sit down, get your drink, and that's it, isn't it?
Eat sweets before the trailers start.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. Jase. Right. This is a random one. Would you rather have a pet, unicorn, or dragon?
Dragon. Definitely a dragon.
What about you, San?
I'll have the unicorn because it won't potentially set my house on fire.
Live in a castle.
A unicorn, definitely. But I'd like the unicorn to be small, not like a giant horse.
Like the little pony ones.
Yeah, because it'd be
like
a bit cramped
one.
in ours, yeah. So a small pony unicorn creature, not a dragon that breathes fire, in my opinion, and can fly away and cause murder. Okay.
I'd have a dragon for all of those reasons. You could just hop on and fly anywhere, couldn't you? So yeah, dragon for me. Go on, San, your last go.
Or from the police, your dragons just burnt down a shopping centre. Nightmare. No, I just think the potential damage a dragon can do beggars belief. Okay. Is this my last one?
Your last one?
Okay, Jase, cycle on a bike or scooter to get round town?
I'm going to say scooter. I spend too much time on a spin bike, so I'll have a break and go for a scooter. Especially Lecky once I've done too much work.
Lecky scooter for me.
Okay. I've been told categorically on no certain terms am I to get on one of those scooters. So a bike for me. I'm less likely to fall over and crack my head open.
Brilliant. Well done. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we know a little bit more about Jase. Now we're going to find out a lot about him. So I've known Jase for a good few years, a long time. So Jase, for anybody that knows anything to do with fitness, everybody knows who Jase is. So he's an amazing fitness instructor in Lifestyles PT. He does loads of charity work. He does loads and loads of stuff all around. And then he created the Fitness Awards. So I want you to start, Jase, of how you got into the fitness industry. Sort of like tell us how you got into it, what you've been doing, how you got into the other bit, and then Sandra and I will interrupt you at the same time and probably ask the same question.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it over to you and tell us all about everything and then we'll ask questions as we go along. So over to you, Jase.
Yeah. So it was back in 2012. I finished university. I was doing TV and film production in uni. In the third year, I realised I knew I didn't want to do that. So I went to America to do Camp America, just a little breakaway for the summer. And they ask what hobbies you have. So at the time, I just went to gym as a member. So on my application form, I put fitness. I turned up at summer camp, and the management called me over and said, "Oh, by the way, the fitness instructor hasn't turned up, so you're our fitness instructor." And I was like, I'm not qualified. And he was like, "You're here now." And I was like, I just remember thinking, I've not got a clue what I'm going to do for this like 6 weeks or however long the summer camp was. And then when I went to the summer camp, we was there for must have been about 3 weeks, and I got called into the camp director's office, and he said, "We don't usually do this halfway through a summer camp." So in my head, I thought I've been sacked. I was like, got rid of me now. And then the promoted assistant head of fitness after 4 weeks of being there, which I didn't have a qualification, fitness related anyway. And I was like, I'm like, I felt like I was conning them out a job. And then after thinking, I really enjoyed it. So I got in touch with Hubert as I was still in America and said, "Look, I want to do my level 2 fitness." And I got an email back saying, "Oh, come in on Monday and enroll." So obviously I was in America, so I emailed and said, "Oh, I'm not back." And he said, "If you're not taking it serious, then like we can't enroll you." So when he explained the whole situation and
I'm
the reason why, they were like, "Oh, that's
fitness
fine."
instructor, yeah.
And I was like, I was thinking, oh. So then in the end, they allowed me to enroll late into it. And then they allowed it when I got there, and then I enrolled, done my level 2, stayed on to do level 3, and then I touched quite lucky because the manager, who was the manager in the gym when I was going, came up to me the day I was qualified, and he was like, "You're qualified level 2, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "I need covering in the gym. I've asked everyone, there's no cover at all." And I went, "I'm not on the like this for lifestyles." And I was like, I'm not part of the team." He was like, "I get the paperwork to do it." So I got the paperwork. Then he was like, "Do you want to cover classes? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that?" Just throw me in the deep end. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." Then I got put on all kinds of courses and stuff like that. So I was building me, obviously, your reputation up, which is quite weird because before I went to America, I was just a member, and I come back and got these qualifications, and then I was teaching people that I was in the class with. So it was a bit weird for me. And building the brand a little self up, get myself known. I got asked to write fitness articles for the guide. So when I was writing them, I was doing fitness challenges and I was doing interviews with people. And then from that, I got my own fitness radio show on KCC Live.
I didn't know that.
Which, yeah. So I've done that. And then I tied the two in together with Guide and KCC. And then at the end of the year, Jay Hines, who runs the Guide, said to me, everyone else is doing top 10 restaurants, top 10 events for the year. And I was like, I can't do top 10 of fitness because it's that diverse. So I was thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I didn't want to let them down. So I went away and done my own awards, mini awards. So it was like best PT, best instructor, best member. Back then, I'd done best physique and best figure for male and female.
I won.
Done a little mini awards. It was all online, and then when the winners were announced, people were voting. The winners were announced, and I was getting messages, emails, and people were stopping me saying, "When's the awards?" Where and I was thinking, I don't know, it's just online. So I remember sitting down with my friend's dad, and we still say now we sat down. We was in the pub, and I told him, he was like, "I've just got goosebumps," and I was like, "Why?" He went, "You need to push forward with this. This could be massive." And I was like, I'll just do it every year for the. So then the year after, I hired a venue in Concert Square, which, to be fair, it wasn't. It's nicer now, but back then it wasn't a very nice place. But it was all I could afford because I was funding it myself. So I hired it, got people to do the food. Was literally begging people to come get bums on seats, because it was new. So people was like, "What's this?" So I was trying to sell it, and it was just Liverpool back then. And then the year after, I got an email off the girls that used to run Millwood Training Academy, and they were like, "We want to sponsor the awards." And at the time, I was thinking, "What do you mean you want to sponsor the awards?" I thought he was trying to take the awards over, and I was like, "What do you mean you want?" We went, "We'll pay you to get involved, and we'll have our branding there. He was giving pens and massage, leg massages out and stuff, all personalised with the." And then, because obviously they, as a successful business, I was like, "Oh," so I sat down, spoke to them, and I was like, how can I do this? Help me. So then they helped me. They said, like, you want to go big, you've got to take it out of Concert Square. You've got to get a more glamorous event because it's got people who won't take it serious. So I hired the Isle of Gladstone the year after, and literally I was stressed out of my life because I was thinking if I don't get bums on seats, then I'm going to have to pay thousands of pounds because that's the cost to hire. But with the help of Millwood, they helped me, and with the sponsorship, and then it was more. So we went into gyms and we got personal trainers involved, and we got bums on seats, and then it got bigger, and then I got an events company come to me and was like, "We want to get involved in this event," and I was thinking, I can't afford to pay a venue and an events team and buy the table things. I was thinking, and he was like, no. So we worked it all out, and it was from then we've always worked together, and then we took it. People from Manchester were then saying, "When's our fitness awards?" And I was thinking, then people in like Leeds and all over was just messaging saying, as we. So then I took it northwest. So I took it a little bit bigger, moved it to the Hilton, because obviously we needed bigger numbers because we're bringing people from different cities, and then we only had it northwest for 1 year, and these people from London that were like, "How do we get involved in this?" So it was 2020 when we went into lockdown, because I announced it. I announced that we was going national from the top of the Radio City Tower. We announced it in March that we was taking
in March, and then went into lockdown.
And then 2 weeks later, we went into lockdown. I was thinking, I was like, it's suicide. Like, I've just killed me business off by doing it. But then the events team said, "We've got an idea." And I went, "What do you want?" "We'll the awards aren't stopping." So we took everything online, virtual. We had big graphics, and it was like it was just crazy what we done. We was in the Hilton, in lockdown, filming the awards, social distance, and all stuff. It was the weirdest thing we ever done, but we was the only fitness awards to actually go ahead in that year. All the other fitness awards postponed it a year, whereas we went virtual and we done crazy stuff. And then when we come out of lockdown, we hired a cinema and we was going to screen the awards that we'd filmed on the big screen. But then obviously we went back into lockdown. So then within a week, we had a week turnaround to get everyone who was coming to the theatre to watch it on the big screen to put it on YouTube. And then we sent everyone I'm watching the FitPro Awards. And then we was like, with the buzz around it was mad. And then everyone was talking about the FitPro Awards, and obviously they're not called the FitPro Awards now, but it got that big that we had to change the name, because I didn't call it the FitPro Awards. It was kind of just a name that got attached to it because it was the Liverpool Fitness Professional Awards. So it just was LFPA, went as Liverpool, we went Northwest. So people just started calling it FitPro. So we branded it as the FitPro. But obviously there's a big company called FitPro. And they got in touch and was like, you can't use our name. And some people go, it's really bad to say that. But to me, that just shows how much it's grew. That a massive company that
it's great.
I've known it's been real, for 30 years.
It's real kudos, isn't it?
My little creation. It's my little baby that I think's like, this company's massive, but yet they're emailing me just saying, like, we don't want any confusion. And I'm thinking, confusion, you're a massive company. I'm just got this little one-man band with us, like a team who helps them. And I was like, wow. So then from then, we changed it to call it the National Fitness Professional Awards. But then the National Fitness Awards, which I always look up to, they got in touch and was like, we don't want to get confused. The awards are so big, we're so big, we don't want to get confused. And I was thinking, so I was trying to come up with a crazy name that no one could say that's ours. So I changed it to the British Fitness Awards.
Which sounds better again.
And then last year we had so many. It was the biggest year last year, and every year I say to the events team afterwards, I don't know what I'm going to do to make it bigger. So when we called it British, we got a whole new loads of fresh faces, and obviously we had the people who've been here from the beginning, but for the 9th year we've just sat down and we've got over 3 million votes. It's 3,001,000 and something votes. So it's the biggest amount of votes I've ever had. I still look at the number and go, that's 3,000, not 3 million. But when I've said to the events team, look, check that number, and he goes, 3 million, and I'm like, what? So it's just crazy. So it's the 9th year this year, which is not Saturday coming, the Saturday after, the 16th September. We've got the biggest number we've ever had since lockdown, because we had high numbers, and after lockdown it's kind of been a struggle to get bums on seats again in the events. But when speaking to the Hilton, it's a very wide thing where it's struggling to get the bums back on seats. So this is our biggest year since the awards after COVID. So we got the highest number of people going to the awards, and then that amazing 3 million votes. It's just so it's the biggest year. So then I'm already planning the 10th next year. It's got to be a big celebration because it's the 10th year. So we're going to do a documentary about from how it began, built all the way through. So we're going to start filming that. So that'll come out next year, leading up to the awards. Then it's going to be a big celebration, loads of champagne and loads of glitz and glamour. Because we're basically, when I first had the awards up, the goal was to put it on the fitness map, because everything was down south, all the events. Spent opportunity to get down. So I said, I'm bringing them down here. Now we've got people from Scotland, Ireland, London, Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, and everywhere in between. they all come and he spends days and they go out and see the city and they come in and they go and they say, oh, it's changed people's perceptions of the city as well, because people always think they wouldn't have come here because I'm like, I refuse to take the awards to anywhere else. I'm like, bring them here. So now that they're there, it's just nice as well that I get to do something so big, but at the same time get to bring everybody in, show off, because it's the best city, isn't it? So it's
and why shouldn't it be here, Jase? Do you know what I mean? If you think we've got the Labour Party conference here next week, we have the Eurovision came, for heaven's sake. You know, we have show jumping now, world gymnastics. We have all kinds of things going on here, or national gymnastics championships. So that, you know, there are big there's a Royal College of Surgeons, there's big organisations coming here. And it's like a destination venue. No one thinks twice about going to Birmingham for something, or, you know, to Glasgow. So I think it's quite appropriate, and well done you for keeping it here, you know. And our show's about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and you've just shown your journey there. You know, you went to a gym and did Camp America, and look what happened from there, you know. And you've bounced back massively from the lockdown, which, as we know in business, is quite difficult. So, you know, well done to you, definitely. So it's exciting.
Oh, thank you.
But I think
part of you as well.
Sorry,
go on, Jase. I was going to say part of the.
I think as well. It's the.
We're having a little part of the evening. You have
go on.
local like dance troupes, don't you? You know, and so you get people involved. You know, in So explain a little bit what happens on the night.
Yeah. So on the night, this year's going to be really special because we've gone all out. So when people are arriving, we've got a local DJ. He's only 17. He's up and coming. He's going to be brilliant. I've seen him DJ, and I was like, "You're coming to the awards," and he was like, "What?" And so I brought him in, built his because I asked him last year. We tingled, and then I was like, "No, you're there at the awards," so he's agreed to do the awards. So as people arrive, it's going to be a big party atmosphere, and we have a big drinks reception where we do like networking and people talk, and some people haven't seen each other since last year's awards, and it's a big catch up, and everyone we have a nice glass of champagne on the way in, and it's really red carpet. We get our pictures stuck on the red carpet on the way in, and then we go in. We have a lovely 3-course meal, which last week I was at the Hilton and I was doing my food tasting. So the food for this year is unreal. It's the nicest it's ever been. And then we've got Adam Brown Dance Company, which is a local dance company that have filmed unreal visuals for the awards, and then the dance routine that they've got is out of this world, and it's all about showing off that how successful you are. So it's called CEO. So it's all about celebrating like your own brand and your hard work. So that's got to open the whole show, and then we've got the awards, which I always stick with local company. So Sassy Divas is doing the awards. They're all done. They look amazing. We have that. Then we've got the Claire Simo from In Demand. She's hosting it. She's also going to do a few songs for us, which is brilliant because I was shocked. I didn't know that she sings as well.
I didn't know she could sing.
But she's very talented, Claire. Very talented, and a lovely person.
She's really talented. So she's singing as well. And then we carry on with the awards. We've got 2 brand new awards this year as well. So we've got the British Fitness Personality, and then we've got the Young British Personality as well. So they've got 2 brand new awards. There's no category. Me and the team have specifically picked someone who we think is a big personality and really deserves this award. To go on the night, the 2 of them are there on the night, and you've got no idea even now, even if they're watching this, he's not an inkling to do is. So it's going to be a massive surprise on the night, which I'm dead excited for. And then we've done something a little bit different. So it's very visual at the end of the night. And then it gets everyone up to dance all together. And then we're going to get everyone to dance all the way down the stairs, or downstairs, which we've got the after party, which we've got the same DJ coming back. So we've got basically 4 or 5 local companies putting everything together. So it's just going to be I can't wait. And plus, it's all sorted and it's all prepared. So I won't be stressed on the night either.
Brilliant.
People don't realise how much organisation an event like that takes. It's horrendous. I've run quite a few events for charities now.
It takes a lot.
Full on, especially something of that scale that you're doing now. I mean, that's just massive, isn't it? You know, it really is full on. So it's at the Hilton this year
we
again.
Also, as well, it's at the Hilton, but we might. What I've mentioned, hopefully tomorrow, I've got a phone call with. I always say it the wrong way around. Weapons down, gloves. I've got a meeting with them tomorrow. So we might be fundraising and supporting them on the night as well. So fingers crossed we can get that sorted. It's short. That's the only thing that needs sorting. But it's even if we just get to support them on the night, not fundraise as much, just to support them. But we
to raise awareness of what they do.
From the start, we've had James Porter charity, and now for others, Woodlands, Zoe's Place. So we always pick local charities as well to fundraise for.
Brilliant.
So talking about an hour for others and things like that, tell us about what you do in. So you do give a lot of your time during lockdown. You gave a lot of your time delivering and doing bits and pieces.
Yeah. So in lockdown,
so tell us all about
I've done the deliveries. I got asked to do deliveries, so I started up doing the food bank, sorting them all out that was donated in the Anfield Sports Centre, and then because obviously I've got access to the car, I got asked to do the deliveries, done the deliveries, and then built up I've knew Jill and Kev for a while, and obviously Kelsey, who works for them, was my cousin, so I've had that connection with them from a long time. So it just built there, and then obviously because I do fitness and they do health and wellbeing, I've done workouts with them. I've done workouts with adults, workout with kids, and then only in the 6 weeks oldies I've done sports day. So it was a 3-hour sports day in the afternoon with the kids. So I think there was 50 kids that we had in doing sports day from 7 to 14, which is obviously the kids that they do all the programs with. And then Christine brought lovely fruit skewers. Like, they were just unreal. And
I love it.
The kids demolished them. And then we finished with a disco. So we turned all lights off, got disco lights out, and had a party. And we finished with Jamie Webster because all the kids love him, don't they? So we finished with a bit of Jamie Webster.
Amazing. And that was in Lifestyles, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was that funny because when we was at the gala, and I turned around and was like, "So that's my manager." So my manager knows Jill and Kev, but I didn't know that he was going. Dingo. So then he was there, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" He was like, "What are you doing here?" So then from there, he was like, "Wants the help?" So that's he donates the whole. And then because it was that brilliant, the kids, and like the kids are just amazing that was on the program, and they left it spotless. They was well mannered to the staff, and so he said anytime they want it, they can have it. So hopefully it's the start of a
brilliant,
where now for others and lifestyles will be able to work together and obviously get it out there more and get more the kids in the city active. And obviously that's Kev. He lives and breathes. He just wants the best for the city, and it's big sports halls like that. That's the kids that they're trying to help, they struggle with that space. So we can get them in massive halls. It's been half term and it's quiet and hopefully the start of a good partnership.
Yeah, definitely. And it is those little links, isn't it? If people, Kevin Jill have been on our show and, and Alfred others and spoke about all the stuff. And Christine Penman, she's been on our show as well. And all these people who know like dead cool people and then, go off and do something. And, your manager was there and he goes, oh yeah. And then because, the way they behave and how they're respectful, they go, oh yeah, you can come back. And it's just opening those doors to so many people, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's not,
you did all your fitness, Jase, and then you changed your little, you went off on another little path, which you've just started. Do you want to tell us about that?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it was about March last year. I was doing stuff for a company called New Horizons, who they work with girls who are at risk of or they've either been abused or at risk of being abused. So she Kelly, she's brilliant. She works with them, and I was doing bits, and as and when we was getting some funding through, we'd go, we'd work with the kids. Kelly worked with them right through the year, but I'd do fitness with them, as and when funding came about. So in March last year, I seen a job posted at Clifford Holroyd, which is a special, it's a SEN school for all boys secondary school, and it was to be a alternative education tutor. So basically, I thought I enjoy what I do with New Horizons. I'm going to go for it. When I got it, I got the job, and it's the unit at the side of the school that we work in. So when the kids are disengaged in education, it's down to us to get them back engaged by doing fun stuff with them and building the confidence, getting them qualifications. So I do the AQA side. So when we're in with the kids, I do the fun stuff. So Peter, who I work with, he's unreal. The amount of schools and kids and everything that he's helped is unreal. So to be learning from him in my first job in a school is really good. But he was doing the fun stuff when I was there, when I got the job, and I was going to go in and do the English and maths. But when we got there, the manager was like, your experience, Chase, is more vocational. Peter he was a primary school teacher, so we can do English and maths. So we got moved to do English and maths, and after I say to the kids when they come in, I'm the fun one, because I take them out, I take them bowling, take them to the gym, but it's just opened my eyes to what kids go through with ADHD, autism, selective mutism, to be in that position to get them qualifications and building the confidence and just getting them back in, because some of the kids, the stories that you come across, it's just nice to be able to say I've had a part in building the confidence, and even if it's just that little thing that you can do, it goes a long way for them kids, because some of them the loveliest kids, but they're just being lost in education, and so it's nice to just put my stamp on it, especially starting in September. It's a fresh start, and I've got football coaches on board now, and I'm using the contacts from the awards and working for the gyms to get them in, to get the kids doing all kinds. So we've got bowling, we've got football. Today we was talking about whack-a-ball in school. I was telling some of the kids about that. The interactive loo, told them all that. So
amazing.
Hopefully, I'm basically putting my own curriculum together for the vocational side of the school. So it's exciting for me, and the kids are the kids are excited because usually they've had like the likes of food and art and it's being limited. But with me and Peter working together now, we've opened a big can of worms, and I think the other side of the school might be a bit jealous when they see the kids doing all the fun stuff.
Definitely. And you were saying about cookery, weren't you? You've got to now learn how to cook yourself so that you can teach a bit of cookery.
Yeah, so basically we say to the kids, we sit them down and they get options. So we say, what do you want to do for this half term? So they pick an option for 6 weeks. And we sat down with one of the kids and he said that he wants to do cookery. And I was thinking, I can't cook myself. But I did do a little bit of cookery. Last year, I made banana cake.
Oh,
I
yeah.
made school cake last term.
Perfect.
So I took my fingers in, but now when he asked him, he wants to make shepherd's pies, and he wants to learn different country foods. So he wants to do learn how to cook paella and different country foods from different countries. So I get to learn as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
And you know, Jase, if you're super fast now, if you go out and get berry picking, you'll get blackberries now. They're still out there. Wash them with the kids. I used to do this, stick them in the freezer. And then the next week when you do your lesson, you can do crumble and all kinds with them, pie. And the kids just think it's amazing that you get this food. It's free. You don't get arrested for picking it. And you can cook with it the week after. And they absolutely love it. It's a big, big win, you know. So good for you.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. So
Leon's
I don't know. I always think to myself, I don't know how I'll fit it in because I go from the school to the gym, and then I go around the events teams to sort the awards, and it's just never ending. But I can't sit still anyway, so it's probably the best that I do.
It works for you, doesn't it? It's like loads of people say, "Oh, he's dead busy," but you love it, so you don't feel busy, do you? When you're doing something that you love.
If I sit down for an hour, I'm like, what can I do? So
yeah.
That's why you fit in with all the
I'm
kids.
constantly busy, otherwise I've got my mind, I think.
Yeah. So Leon says, great story. Leon's listening and he says, great story. Leon's great. Brilliant. So what's the future then, Jase? What's the next step?
So the big one is next year for the 10 year of British Fitness Awards. So me and the events team are doing these talks of it being a 10-part documentary, but I think the events team are being a bit ambitious. I don't think we've got that much to talk about for the 10 documentaries. But so we're going to do a documentary. Then we're going to spend loads looking back over the years and celebrating people, and just so because some people it was part of the awards, and then as it's gone bigger, they've kind of dropped back, but it's bringing them back and just saying, like, thanking them for this, because obviously if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't have grew to where it was. So they've got to be part of it. So me and the events team are already starting to plan the 10th one before the 9th one's even happens, because it's got to be that big, because it's 10 years. So we want to do something special. So the events team coming, the Charlie, the Chocolate Factory world, come up with the most craziest ideas and go, we're going to do that. And he goes, no, we're not. And I go, come on, we'll do it. And then by the time it gets around to it, he's more excited than me. And I think, we can't do this. Parliament outside all around Liverpool landmarks. And what he said about it, I was thinking, we'll do this. And David's going, no, we can't do that. We can't go to there and film it all in one night. I'm thinking, I can't, we'll do it. And then as I got closer to it, I'm thinking, you can't do that. But on the steps of the Porterpool, we was filming the Albert Dock, we was filming in the Hilton, and it was, I didn't think we could do it. And David down to beg each other on.
Struggling there.
Tell David, he tries to talk me out of it, but as he talks me out of it, he talks himself into it. I talk myself out of it, and he's trying to get me back into it. So we're up at like 2, 3 in the morning, like this, typing away, because that's when my brain starts working. When I go into bed, we could do that. We could do that. So I mess him, but the funny thing about it is he messaged me back at the same time. So he says, my mind's the same. So the pair of us are,
Brilliant.
Like, if I'm on my own, I say to them, don't let me think of any crazy ideas. But then I always do. And he makes them happen. So
that's fantastic, isn't it? Brilliant.
Well, we wish you all the good luck for the 9th year, and we're dead excited for the 10th year, and you've done an amazing job with it.
Unbelievable.
Working with all the young people and everything else, so keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing. And we'll share all of the stuff on our page so that people can have a little look and stuff like that. So we do have a red face moment. Anything slightly embarrassing that's happened? I can tell that you've got one, San.
Oh, so mine's minimal this week, but it just made me laugh. I thought, I haven't got a red face for the show this week. So I had physio today, which has been brilliant. Walton Physiotherapy on Chelwood Avenue. Amazing. And I thought I'll just pop up to me mum's for 5 minutes. Got time, I'll pop in and have a quick cuppa. So I nipped up and I went to my mum goes, what's that perfume you're wearing? And I went, it's Clarins OD. I'm sort of at the end of my perfumes, you know. It's a Clarins one that I quite like. It's nice and fresh in the warm weather. And she goes, it smells like shark repellent. And I went, okay. And I thought, oh, she's shocking. And I went, right, I'll go then. And she went, yes, it's terrible. And that was that. So she said, just if you're going to come round again. Like, yeah, fine. So it's quite popular. People normally compliment me when I wear it. So I've never done it before, but I thought that was quite hilarious today. What about you, Helen?
No, I'm okay. You know, I don't think I've done anything. I was like, I was having to think before, but no, I'm safe. I'm sure, Jase, I'm sure you've got a belt of red face.
You must have a story, Jase. You must have.
I've got a cracker. So I went to deliver a parcel to send back because I'm forever buying clothes. I thought I buy stuff, it comes and I go, don't wear it. So usually I'll just stick it in the wardrobe, won't send it back. I thought, no, I'm not. So goes into the post office, walks in, and the woman at the post office goes, morning. So I said, morning, puts the parcel down, and she goes, how's it going? And I went, oh, I'm okay, thank you, you. And then she turns around and goes to me, I meant first class or second class. And I went, oh. I just thought, I went, first class, and she went, said the price. I've never paid so fast and gone because I just wanted the floor to eat me up.
I just
said, oh, it's all right. How is it going with you? Yeah, I just done the same.
How's it going? She just went, how's it going? But usually when you think someone goes, how's it going? You go, oh, yeah, good. So I was like, yeah, I'm good, thanks you. And she went, first or second. I was thinking, oh, just the floor just open up and eat me up. Oh.
That's brilliant. I love that.
That's a brilliant story. I love that.
That is ace. Okay, so shout out to the grown-ups. Any grown-ups who've done amazing things this week.
Yes, I really don't know. Go on, you carry on.
I am going to shout out to Danny de Brabander. So Danny de Brabander is a past guest of ours. Well, he's only got on to the High Performance podcast.
Your fave.
My fave. Well, they've rang him and they said that they want to do an article with him. So I'm absolutely delighted for him because he is like a super inspirational guy. And have you seen the puppy that he's just got? They've just got a real life puppy, which looks like a teddy bear. But I'm made up and I think he's doing okay. He's home. And he had some lovely family come from, I don't know if they came from Ireland or London or somewhere. So he had his lovely family with him. So we're sending big love to Danny de Brabander, and he's got on the High Performance. It's like, you know, every time you come on this show, Jase, something else happens. You do amazing things.
Tomorrow, you wouldn't believe it, honestly. Everyone, we're made up with ourselves. It's like a platform to success.
It is. Yeah, he's done that cool stuff himself, but we're taking that as a platform to success.
So I'd like to give a shout out to school governors who were all volunteers. And I do a little bit of support for a school that's opening up. And we had some people last night and they're all there. And I just thought one's on another board as well, where her kids go to school and another person does, and everyone's working full time. They don't get a penny for it. They don't get anything, but they're all passionate about the kids and the well-being. And it's a similar provision to the type where you're working, Jase, you know. And they're all passionate about what's going to happen and everything for the kids and having the absolute best outcomes for the kids. And these people just give up their time. They have monthly meetings. And then if they look after a certain area, they come on. The chair of governors might have to come in the day if it's an emergency. And, you know, these people just give up their time all over the country to help support and give support to the head teachers, etc. You know, and I think the work they do is fantastic. So I'm giving a shout out to all the school governors in the country as well as the ones last night.
Brilliant. My Uncle Ron says that's a cracker, Jase, with your post office story. He loves that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's only because it happened to me.
It's brilliant. So you shout out to Jase.
My shout out is to the similar to yours, Sandra, is the school leadership team. Going back in the first week, obviously it's my first September, so I've never been in what happens, but we've been bombarded with safeguarding, expectations of the year, funding, and I'm thinking about the leadership team that's in that school. Just put everyone at ease. Don't stress anyone out, and just go above and beyond. And they've been through the summer. I've had the 6 weeks off, even though they have the time off, but they've come back on these case that they've had to look into, and they've got a new policy that you've got to read, and the support that they give, not just me, but the whole staff. It's only a small school, so it's only small staff, so it's a really close knit. So the leadership team and all the teachers and the days, they're just seeing what happens in a school from behind the scene is just, I think that they just need a massive shout out, and I don't think people realise what needs to be done to support the kids and get everything ready for the start. So shout out's got to go to them.
Good shout.
Good shout out. Good shout out. What book podcast are you listening to or reading? San, have you got one?
Yeah, so I didn't want to say a book or podcast. I went to see a film on Sunday night called The Sound of Freedom. There's all different controversies about this film and that, but we looked at it objectively, all the rest of it. It is based on a true story, and I just think everybody should watch it. It's not a comedy film, but it's about being mindful. It's about trafficking of children and things, and it is based on a true story, as I said, but it's about being mindful when you go places, making sure if you employ someone, or not employ someone, but if you use the service, make sure people are okay, signs to look out for. And it said there's more slaves in our country, there's more slaves worldwide than there have ever been in history when even slavery was legal. So that's just unbelievable. So it is a hard watch. Okay, it's all right, you know, they're careful how they show things, because it is a 15, but it is a hard watch. But I just think it's our moral obligation to be informed about this stuff. It's a nightmare. Okay, so that's not my usual positive thing, but you know,
but it's important. It's important. What about you, Jase? What are you listening to or reading?
Do you know what? I've been that busy. I've not really watched much, but because I haven't had much time, when I get in bed, I've been lately watching a good crime documentary just to switch off from fitness and events. I love a good crime documentary.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's a podcast, but it's the only thing that I'd say I've watched. I haven't watched telly for God knows how long.
Yeah.
No, good for you. What about you, Al?
So I've just finished Jog On, which was a book about it. It's a true story. A girl wrote it about how she was she suffered with anxiety and depression, and then she went for a little run, and then she uses running as a way of coping with life. And it's quite funny because she does like 0 to 10k, so she does what, rather than chapters, it's like 1 to 10k, really good. So I'm now, when we went to see Palan San, you know, when we went and did our chutney challenge, Palan gave me How to Ikigai, the book How to Ikigai. So that is my book of choice. But a little tip for you, if you've got Audible, How to Ikigai is on your free Audible. So you can get it as a freebie.
Okay, we should well be sponsored by Audible. That's
I
right.
know. I'll write to them this week.
Yeah, sponsored by Audible, Jase.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, so I'm going to listen to it and read it at the same time, which I've never done before. But there's lots to do about Ikigai, and it's all about like your passion and your purpose and how you live a holistic life, and it's an amazing philosophy. So
Amazing.
massive thank you to Jase for giving us time, taking his time off from work, and carry on doing all your amazing stuff, Jase.
Definitely.
And
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Close the show for us with your mantra or closing quote, your positive quote, what you live by.
I'm going to go with what I always tell people when they come to classes, and I've it's stuck with me for years. I say to everyone, and that is that to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So that's me, with a little motivational to keep everyone motivated.
Yeah, I'm just writing that down. I'm not ignoring you. Get comfortable. What is it? Get uncomfortable being comfortable. No, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, being uncomfortable.
Take yourself out your comfort zone and stuff.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love that. Well, thank you, Jase, for joining us. Thank you to Sam. And keep up the good work, Jase. We'll post everything on our show. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.